start ratcheting this up here. I still got the playroom, and like I said, I still didn't snug up the top yet. Now, as you see, like I said, a little odd drive shaft side. Think it's an odd location for it, but they say that that's the way it's supposed to be. Once again, for debris and whatnot, I guess it's less subject to being destroyed on that side. There is plenty of room clearance. Drive shaft does not actually come in contact once you get everything back lined up, but you know, a little bit less accessible than if it was on the front here. I think I'd be able to work to grab it a lot easier. Alright, well, that's all back through and back together. Next step would be to grab the torque wrench, make sure that I got it up to torque, but for right now it's snug. I'm going to torque everything later on. I have to go and pull out the book and see what all the torque settings are. So that's it. Now next is going to be these top nuts here. Still got the wrench still even on that one. These are still loose, like I said, just for a little bit of play action, just in case I needed it. Alright, I got the tops all in nice and tight, bottom's in nice. Now next step is going to be getting the rest of this bad boy back together. Tie rod end is not going to be a problem. This, once again, is going to want to freewheel a little bit, so you're going to want to latch on to the nut setting there, just to make sure that you're not spinning the hell out of it. And unfortunately, the ball joint is also going to be wanting to spin on me here. That gets a little bit tricky. You got to get it finger threaded a little bit, and once you get it finger threaded, you lock something on to the end here. I used a vice grip on the other side, and just to keep it from spinning out on you. Aside from that, we're in the finish zone here. We're in the last 20 yards here, so finish this up. Alright, tie rod end is in. I'm gonna get that re-threaded. I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna use the little bit of thread that I had sticking through here to go ahead and just work that back into place. Let's see, there goes the freewheeling on me, so I'm gonna grab another wrench and tighten that up now. There we go. Wedged up a crescent wrench again. Alright. Now we'll go ahead, we'll throw on the tie rod end. That's nice and snug now. Once again, like I said, I'm going to re-torque everything in a little bit here. But for right now, going to get this going. Alright, all the bolts are back in place now, except for this one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the floor jack to go ahead and boost that up, line that up, and like I described before, grab something with the end there and get that nut screwed on there nice. Alright, now that we got that boosted up a little bit, see what I mean here? Get a little bit of freewheeling going on there on the spindle for the top ball joint. So what I'm going to do is I think I could actually get a wrench onto the end of this here, utilize another wrench, and go ahead and get this starting to tighten. Otherwise, I'm just going to clamp onto it with the vice grip again. Alright. Alright, so I'm using a 7/8 wrench on here and a 3/8 on the very tip end there. That's allowing me to tighten that up. This is going to draw it down nice and neat. Okay. Final step is, once I go ahead and I finish this up, once again, check the torque settings, make sure that you got everything all set to torque. After you torque everything on up, get your wheel back on, everything's all back together. As I showed before, this brand new was sitting at about a 2-inch lift rather than a 1.5 like it advertises. However, it says that it levels itself out after they're on for a little bit. So I'll double check that, see where we're at. And then the final step is you're going to need an alignment. Just run it down to the shop and get her aligned. As you see here, there's the adjuster. Plenty of clearance. That's all good. That's pretty much it. Hopefully I don't have any more squeaking bad noises from the front. Get a nicer ride too, hopefully, out of it. Alright, buddy. Bye. Alright, there she is, all in place, all torqued down. I got the torque settings from Dodge Forum, Ram Forums online, I believe it was. Front shock coil replacement. Somebody had listed up all the torque settings for all the bolts here. Last and final here, just go ahead and, from the beginning there, I had that ABS system. Just put that back into the clamp. A little bit of pressure there. Alright. Wheel's going to be going into place here, and we'll give her a road test. Alright, so here's her new stance. Alright. Doesn't look much more aggressive, but definitely does sit higher. Alright. Let's see here. That's sitting at just about 8, so it hasn't dropped yet. Haven't actually had it out on the road yet. We'll see what happens. This is the side that was just done, and that too is sitting at just about 8, give or take. Alright, so we'll see if that settles down to 7.5 once I get the ride on. First ride, after it compresses a little. Next I still got to do the back, but for right now got the fronts done. The back should be about a 10-minute job. Overall, I'd say if you're going to do this, it took me about, give yourself about an hour and a half on each side. It's not extremely hard if you got everything all prepped up and whatnot. With this tutorial, hopefully you even make it a little bit quicker. But as for me, about an hour and a half it took me each side. A little bit longer on the second side just because I stopped and videotaped all the time. That's it. Alright, so here's the installation after a couple days. I think it's been about 3 or 4 days since I installed the suspension, or rather the shocks. I went ahead, I put on new Ranchos on the back, just got done doing those. One of the issues, like I said, is this is supposed to be a 1.5 inch lift. When I first did it, I was getting about 2 inches out of it. Now that we had a couple days to let it settle like they recommend, we'll see what the actual lift is on it. Alright, so the quick lift brings us up here. It didn't settle anything. Still sitting maybe about 7 3/4 I'm getting out of it. 7 3/4 to the bottom of the fender well from the top of the tire tread. So if anything, probably about 1/4 inch settle on the passenger side. Double check the driver's side here. And the driver's side is sitting the same, about 7 3/4, right in that area. Alright, so ultimately, after review, I think that it handles a lot better. Rides smooth, gives it a more aggressive look. My wife definitely thinks that it sits higher, which it obviously does. Quite satisfied with them. Can't complain. Think that they look pretty sharp. Yep, the quick lift looks pretty good on on the front end here. It's not that they're so noticeable. Kind of wish that they came with a red spring instead of the black spring like they have, but you get what you get. Go ahead and I'll show you the back end. Like I said, just finished putting on the rear shocks. Haven't even taken it out for a road test yet. So we'll see what they look like here. Yep, here's our rear Rancho RS9000s. Really nothing to put these on. Loosen 2 bolts, drop the old ones, put the new ones on. It doesn't take much effort whatsoever. But that's pretty much it. If you decide to do it, hope you fare pretty well. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem for you. Hopefully this instruction tape gives you a little bit of assistance and maybe even helps you out with deciding whether or not you think that's worth it or not.